Hi Sheila, can you hear us?
I think your earphone is not attached properly. We can hear our
Hi,
voice.
Priya.
Hi. No, she can hear ma.
Yeah,
She
now
can.
she can hear. Kekda.
Kekda.
You detach your this thing and attach it back. Remove your headphone and put it back. The wire.
I think you should call her and tell her. She's not able to hear us. Ask Kanchana what's the problem.
Is Anjana there?
Yeah, she's there. I told her.
Hello,
We can hear you.
Anita. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, yours is not fixed, I think. Wire எடுத்து திருப்பி attach பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா
என்னப்பா?
வெளியே கேக்குது. We can hear your voice from outside.
You.
You take out
Now?
Take out your thing and put it back inside.
Wait a minute. That's why I couldn't hear.
அதான்.
இப்பதான் ஒண்ணு முடிச்சு வந்தபோது what happened? ஒரே நிமிஷம். Now you can hear me? It's
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Now I can hear you.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
But Priya
Hi,
is
Sheila.
talking. I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me now?
Our wiring is not okay. அதை எடுத்துட்டு she has to reset it. You have to put it onto computer audio.
காத்தால இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தது. நேத்துக்கும் இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தது.
கேக்குதா?
கேக்குதா ஷீலா?
Whatever she is doing, we are able to hear. She is not fixed the wire properly.
இல்ல சம்டைம்ஸ் அந்த ஹெட்ஃபோன்லயே ஏதாவது சுவிட்ச் மாதிரி இருக்கு.
She says she's not able to hear us.
Can you hear us now? Sheila, can you hear us?
Oh no. Ma'am says no, she can't hear. She left, so probably she'd rejoin.
It's better she goes and comes only.
She has left the meet. She'll be joining us.
Hello, Anita, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah. We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Maybe she should come and join us.
I'm not able to hear anything, whatever you people
We
are
can
talking.
hear you. We can hear you clearly. You are not able to hear us.
Vice versa. Usually people will have this fault. Because I just came again.
You'll have to join computer audio. அதை try பண்ணி பாரு.
Enema?
Computer audio when you fix your idella that into the socket.
I
Earphone.
just fixed everything.
Computer
Check your audio. Computer audio. Computer audio ல வரணும்.
I'll come. I'll come again.
Okay. Okay.
Mama's joined again.
I can't see her.
Yeah, she has joined.
Hello. Anita, can you speak?
Yes.
Hello. கேக்குதா? Hello.
Can you hear? Sheila, can you hear? Freeze ஆயிட்டாங்க.
இல்ல. Hello.
Maybe we'll post our questions in the chat. We will start now.
She's gone out again, I guess.
I am telling you, no, in the headphones, there are some headphones with a switch. I have one that.
She says she just now used it. No. ஒரு மீட்டிங் முடிச்சுட்டானே she came, she said.
அது அது பட்டுறது கைகே பட்டா கூட ஆன் ஆகாது, ஆஃப் ஆயிடும்.
So headphones use பண்ணாம she can come, right? Without using headphones.
She can try that also.
No, she tried. It didn't work for her. She tried the Sada one also. நேத்திக்கும் ஆஃப்டர்நூன் அப்படி ஆச்சு இல்ல?
Priya, now you can hear me?
Can you hear us? We were
Yes,
hearing
ma'am.
you.
Very clearly I can hear you. I took 3 microphones and I came now.
Can you hear us, Sheila?
Yeah, yeah. She can
Right
hear us.
now with an ordinary microphone I can hear you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we'll
Can
start
you
here.
hear us?
Yeah, she can hear us.
We can hear. I can hear you all. I mean, everything. And now the sound is very clear.
Yeah.
Please, we can start.
Yeah, good. Hi, Sheila. How are you?
Thank you. Fine, Priya.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
Anshana, you have to make a co-host, no?
Yeah, to
Yeah,
present
maybe.
the screen. You can introduce her.
Yeah, I'll start.
Yeah.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, girls. It gives me immense pleasure today to introduce to you the resource person of the day, Dr. C. Sheila Sasikumar, who's a well-wisher of our department and has long connection with our department as well as an external examiner and as a board of studies member also. So it gives us immense pleasure in having Dr. Sheila with us today to talk to you about career prospects in life sciences. Dr. Sheila Sasikumar is a director, clinical research, SS Healthcare, consultant head, clinical research, high care, super specialty hospital, Chennai, consultant, clinical research, Chennai Plastic Surgery, Chennai, member of the board of high care, super specialty hospital. She has over 28 years of immense expertise in academics and in research, especially in the field of clinical research, clinical biochemistry, nanotechnology, molecular biology, natural products, bioactivity. She also holds a patent. Dr. Sheila Sasikumar has over 58 publications to date. And to name a few of her achievements, she has received the Professor E.P. Odom Gold Medal in 2007 for commendable research activity from Scientific Advisor of the Prime Minister. She is in the editorial board member of Journal of Current Science, Journal of Pharmacy and Biological Sciences, International Journal of Biological and Life Sciences, International Journal of Biotechnology Applications. She is also a reviewer in Science Asia, Journal of Food Science and Technology, Journal of Medicinal Plant Research, Anti-Cancer Agents in Medicinal Chemistry, Bentham Universe Science Publishers, SOJ Material Science and Engineering, Research on Chemical Intermediates, Springer Hindawi Journals. She holds a membership in the following societies: Fellow of the Society of Environmental Sciences, Life Member in Indian Society of Atherosclerosis, Life Member in National Academy of Biological Sciences, Life Member in the International Society of Nuri Science. Dr. Sheila Sasikumar has organized a number of conferences, written quite a few book chapters, and also conducted and organized many webinars. She has worked with over 13 research projects till date. Dr. Sheila was in the team which has completed clinical trials such as LifeAS, a clinical grade non-invasive COVID-19 screening and monitoring tool for the masses, confirmation of minimal manipulating autologous extracellular matrix treatment in diabetic foot ulcers, in the improvement using 3D bioprinting technology with South Korea, a comparative clinical study to evaluate skin and soft tissue infection using a novel non-invasive fluorescence-based imaging device called Illuminate, effect of oral protein supplement Pro 360 on diabetic foot ulcer patients, menu time-based motion management for diabetic foot ulcers, a multicentric open-label randomized phase 3 study on the safety and efficacy of Sophinex gel, which is used in diabetic wound healing. We are immensely happy to have you, Sheila, with us to talk to our students today on career prospects in life sciences. Over to Dr. Sheila Sasikumar.
Thank you, Dr. Anita, for a nice introduction. Good afternoon, all. At the onset, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the head of the department, Dr. Priya Iyer, and other faculty members who have given me an opportunity to speak about the career aspects and career prospects in life sciences. I welcome all the young minds for this webinar. And at the end of the webinar, my aim is that you should gain some knowledge about your career and you should build a best career in your life in life sciences. Over to the screen. So career prospects in life sciences. It's a broad term what we are going to discuss today. So we are not bothered about whether we are biotech, biochemistry, it's a life sciences. So science, without science, nothing can happen in this world. So science is an essential component of day-to-day life. So as Dr. Anita introduced me, she gave me a detail about my thing. So I'm into the clinical research. So this becomes one part of the career for the life science student. So I have my channel where you can see my COVID awareness program. From the day COVID started, we were in pandemic period. I have given many information about the immune boosters, etc. So coming to life science career. Our career in life science is a unique blend of knowledge, innovation, discovery, and science. So it goes mixed together, it goes. So before starting this, so maybe maybe a month back, I gave a talk in SRM University. It was an AICTE program where it was a faculty development program. I spoke about role of women in research. It was amazing to see that we are graduating, post-graduating, everything happens. But the number of women who comes out in a higher position is found to be less, not only in India, globally. But India, it is found to be very less. This is what we are concentrating. So despite the presence of such highly motivated women scientists, India's workforce is less than 15% women compared to the global average of 30%, according to the National Task Force report. Our President Ramnath Kovind said while he was addressing the gathering on the occasion of the National Science Day. This small percentage of women who study science go on to make successful career and contribute to this field. So all of us are educated, we are qualified, but the number of women who come for patent and at the higher position is found to be less. So this is where we need to hit. So what is a career? Career is sum of all the decisions that direct your educational, social, and economic endeavors. So a successful career generally depends on, or it requires certain characters that it is in us. We have to do it. One, self-assessment. Self-assessment is a very important aspect. You should not compare yourself with the others. Comparison usually demotivates us. Compare yourself yourself what happened to me yesterday, why the mistake happened, and how should I rectify, and see to that those mistakes should not be performed again and again. So that is the self assessment we need to do it to build a self confidence in us. Decision making, so we need to take wise decision, and decision making should be done only by you. You can get information from the resourceful person, advices, etc. But ultimately, decisions lies in you. Occupational awareness about the job, systematic exploration. What are the different kinds of jobs are available based on my qualification and interest, and what should I select? Guided implementation. So, generally, a candidate, while building a career, should build self belief. Do you have self belief that you can succeed in your career? That is more important. That can be done only by you, not by anyone. Right focus. My focus, I should build a vision, and my focus should be narrowed down, and I should create a path. Whether I'm moving it in a correct path, the right focus should be there, especially in a life science. Willpower. Do you have a willpower to achieve your goal? So you need to create a vision, and you need to create a willpower to reach your objectives, ultimately your goals. So first of all, you need to assess your interest. Now, I presume that most of you all are doing your post graduation in biotechnology. So, whether it is biochemistry, biotechnology, microbiology, whatever it is science. It is collectively life sciences. So, we can enter in any field of life sciences. So, assess your interest. What is my interest? Whether I should go as a computational biologist or a bioinformatics person, or should I do in silico analysis because I like computer very much. I know the basics and the fundamental aspects of computer. I have learned so many qualifications in computer science. So it all depends in you. Consult a reliable resources. This is very important. Reliable resources. Do not go beyond fake persons and fake resources. Make knowledgeable career choices. List down what are my interests. Then list down what are the careers that can I take up. From that, you just circle top 3 career paths in according to your interests. Once you select them, then you add values to those particular 3 components that you have selected. How are we going to add the values? See, you have to attend internship programs, projects, event management, conference, seminars, presentations, whatever, because ultimately it is going to help us to create one communicative skills, which is very important, and a network can be created in this regard. Finally, you can showcase yourself in that particular field. So this is how we have to proceed with our career choice. Then once you find that these are my, for example, I'm going to be an entrepreneur because I have a knowledge, I have an innovative idea, I want to be an entrepreneur. So identify your strength. Whatever job you're selecting, a career you're going to select, you need to identify your strength. Strength can be easily identified, my dear children, but it is very difficult to assess the weakness because we don't accept very easily. But you need to accept. Once you accept your weakness, which is very, very important, you can work it on to create that weakness into strength. So, systematically, you have to work on your weakness and convert it into your strength. Then you find the opportunities and what are the threats that may come in these cases, in these opportunities, or what are the comfortability I get in that. So these have to be analyzed while you choose your strength and weakness. Next one is today's competitive field. A multitask person is absolutely essential. So corporate or industries are ready to hire a multitask person rather than a single oriented person. A single field oriented person is not required. It is absolutely because you are given multitask job and you need to complete that, for which you have to develop your skills. So skill analysis is important, and skill analysis by self is very important. Do a self assessment test, discover all your things, your strength, your weakness, or whatever interest you have created. Sit alone and think about you. What are the things that I need to develop in me to create a particular eligibility for that particular job? This is what is required. Skill analysis can be done both by the industry as well as by the self person. Okay, then you have to identify, after doing your skill analysis, you have to come for the skill gap analysis. So gap means there is something I am lagging for that particular career. Skill gap analysis has to be done. So how are you going to do that? So take for example, I want to become a clinical research person. So I should determine the skills that is necessary for that particular job. So I want to become a data scientist. So for that data scientist, what are the absolute skills that are required and essential? Then you assess the skills of yourself, not an individual. Here this happens in case of industry also. So you assess the what are the skills that I have, whether what are the skills I don't have. Now the skills that you don't have, work on that, and you just identify the gap, and you are going to create a knowledge, and you're going to remove this gap and become a fully eligible person for that particular career or the job. So normally, these are the few things that I want to tell you regarding a career choice. Then next is, what are the type of careers that are available? So careers can be generally of two types in case of life sciences. One is academic career, purely teaching, and another one is non-academic career. So many of us may not have interest in teaching. So in those cases, do not worry, non-academic career becomes a blessing. These are nowadays called as alternative careers in life sciences. So for example, when I was studying from maybe I think 7th standard to 8th standard in the classes, I was inspired by my teacher, Mrs. Sylvia. Even I cannot forget her today. So I decided only teaching is my career. So that was developed in me because my teacher became a role model. So academic career is a noble profession where we are helping the students to come up and we become a ladder for them. So in case of academic careers, what are the opportunities is that normally you end up in colleges, universities, or research institutions. In cases also, teachers can come up in higher secondary schools because nowadays biochemistry, microbiology, and all those things have been introduced in 10th standard, plus one and plus two things. So higher secondary schools also it is possible, but you need to complete a B.Ed program for that. So suppose I'm not interested in teaching. I don't want to end up as a teacher. So what you can do is, do not hesitate to choose a career other than academia. Suppose if your interest lies in that. So what you can do is choose some other careers. So that career should be challenging, innovative, and financially rewarding. To be successful in an industry, in a non-academic area, demonstrate few qualifications in you. You need to demonstrate, otherwise you cannot enter into the corporate world. One, ability to lead a team. Leadership quality is absolutely essential. To work as a team member, you should adjust with your team, work with the team, because in any cases nowadays it is teamwork that is going on. So nobody cannot take a credit. It is only we, it happens. So you should prove that you can work in a team. Then great communicator. Your communicative skills should be better, and it should it should be in, I mean, if there is a need, you should practice, you should have some communicative skills program to increase that. Grow your expertise in different directions. I told you there is no single direction hereafter. It is only multiple directions that we are going on. So, what are the non-academic careers that are thrown in front of us? Industry, corporate. So, what is this industry? The reagents, the product companies, the medical devices, etc. They are the companies who can take life sciences. So, these companies are hiring qualified researchers in the following departments of their manufacturing as well as in the sales. So what are that? Product development. Suppose they are going to develop a kit, and this kit is going to be used in PCR or RT-PCR or whatever it is. This, to develop this kit, they require life science person. Testing the kit, whatever the innovative kit they have developed, you need to test it. So for which life science is essential. Then product management, business development, technical support, and marketing. So accordingly, you can be in the R&D department, product development, QC, or QAM, quality assurance management or quality control, HR, marketing, and consultancy. This consultancy is for the business development. For example, they have developed a kit. Which are the hospitals that can be linked for the business development? How should I approach? Which is the purchase department? How should I approach the doctors? How should I speak about this kit and all those things? So it becomes a business development. And you have other fields like clinical trial management, IPR, regulatory management, bio-entrepreneurship, technology transfer, which is coming up, science management and administration, bioinformatics, computational biologist, etc. So, what is this clinical research about? Because in COVID situation, when COVID pandemic situation came up, there were so many products in the market. The market was flooded with so many products, disinfectants, what you say, mask, different types of mask, herbal mask, and so many things. Then sanitizers, herbal sanitizers, sanitizers without alcohol, and all these things. So when so many of things are available in the market, when it comes to the human use, when it comes to the what to say use by the general population, certain things come under the field of clinical research. For example, vaccines are developed. The Serum Institute of India is going to be the biggest manufacturing unit globally to produce the vaccines. So when they develop the vaccines has to be tested, and it has to be given to a CRO organization to carry out the testing programs. So that is called a clinical research. So a clinical research is an attractive industry for researchers, for trained medical, pharmaceutical, paramedical professionals, project management staff, regulatory authorities, government, and the society at a large. With the clinical research, the industry is poised to grow exponentially and open up new vistas of employment for a variety and larger number of people. So what is this clinical research? This clinical research department involves following persons. Companies, first one, the sponsors or companies, what you call, they are the pharmaceuticals. It includes everything, kits, vaccines, medicines, everything, devices, whatever you use, invasive and non-invasive. Then biotech companies, medical devices. So these pharmaceutical companies or biotech companies or whatever it is, they develop a product. This product is an innovative product and has to be tested. So what they do is they outsource this particular testing of the drugs to the CRO. The CRO or the contract research organization will take up this particular work and they give it to the site management. That is, They see the sites. For example, if it is going to be something concerned with the gynecology department, they see to the hospitals where it is a qualified, NABH qualified, NABL accredited lab. Everything happens in that hospital. So there are certain norms. It should be a qualified site to carry out the clinical research. So the CRO will perform the clinical trial on behalf of the sponsor, that is the company, in collaboration with the site, that is called the hospital, or it can select a site management organization, which is called an SMO. So opportunities comes like this. So in pharmaceuticals or the companies which is going to be a sponsor, there are a number of life science graduates and postgraduates and research people are needed. And CRO, you have QC department, all those things. And then in site management or the hospital will have a separate clinical research department where there will be a head clinical research, and under that particular person there will be 4 or 5 clinical research coordinators working together. So like this, you have opportunity under each umbrella. So, what are the opportunities that are available for us? So, in case of contract research organization, I told you, in pharmaceutical industries, biotechnology companies, medical device companies, both invasive and non-invasive, and artificial intelligence product also comes in this sensor-based products. Patient recruitment organization, then clinical data management, which is very important. Without them, we cannot do any clinical trial. Regulatory affairs, whether this particular clinical trial is done according to the regulatory guidelines of BCGI or FDA approved trials, etc. Then pharmacovigilance, medical writing about the entire thing, from the documentation to ending up the termination of clinical report. Then central lab facilities, it should be an NABL accredited lab with facilities, logistics and courier services, research sites. Finally, auditing of clinical trials. There will be a third party called the auditing team who will come and see, who will visit the site, and they will see to that whether this particular clinical trial or research is performed according to the guidelines and according to the approval of the ethical committee, etc. So now I'll give you some examples of this clinical trials. So as Dr. Anita said, LifeFast, this is a small, what to say, it's an artificial intelligence product. When when the COVID thing came, COVID-19 came into picture, there were many tools that were available in the market to understand whether the particular person is suffering from asymptomatic or highly symptomatic, severe or mild symptomatic, etc. Now, this app was invented by a person. Uh, Together, there are few persons together. They are all scientists working on this in Bangalore. And this particular app was selected by, approved by DST, and they funded for this app. And that particular app came for us in trial. And we did the clinical trial in 2 sites, and nearly 100 patients. We saw how this app was working. So it's an artificial intelligence product. Similar to this, you have Adivo Diagnostics. This is also called as artificial intelligence product. This product is a sensor-based product, which will see which will give you the complete picture of the diabetic foot ulcer, the wounds. So these are the certain things. It can be an invasive one or non-invasive one. So anything that comes new to the market has to be studied before it is used into the humans. The next part is entrepreneurship. So what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is neither a science nor an art. It is only a practice. It has knowledge base. So I have knowledge. I want to do my own business. So that there comes the entrepreneurship. So I'm just for past 1 year, I'm working as a women entrepreneur. Being a women entrepreneur is a self creates a self confidence, and you can approach in all directions if you have a knowledge base on that. So we do clinical trials and research, product development, patent filing, trademark registration, branding, copyright protection, and academics. Many women are in all over Tamil Nadu. They have Startup India, Startup Tamil Nadu. Once they enter into the startup, they have some innovative products. They file the patent, and once they patent it, they register in MSME, which is for the small scale. Especially they give special preference to the women entrepreneurs. Then they can come via the MSME and they can get the grants for that. But only thing here, we need to have some innovation in hand, and the product should be a beneficial one to the end user. That is an absolute essential for this criteria. So, advantage of being a women innovator. So, we know that women scientists can enroll in WOS, register under Startup India, which is available now. Startup India is being what to say is being introduced by DBT, and we have lot of advantages in the Startup India. Now you have Startup Tamil Nadu also in picture, where you have to register in Udayam, and once you register in Udayam, you can go to MSME. Once you register in MSME, you can come up into the Startup Tamil Nadu, and there is entrepreneur development EDPI. There's there they give grant to the women entrepreneur if they have an innovative product. The product doesn't mean a very big biotechnology product, even a hair oil, even as some physiotherapy product or artificial limb product, which becomes or a footwear for a amputated person, creating a footwear for the amputated. So these are the smaller things that can be very useful to the person. So all these persons can register under Startup India or Startup Tamil Nadu, etc. So once you register in Startup India, you are absolutely eligible for the BIRAC. So Section 11.5 BBF provides concessional rate for taxation at 10% on royalty income in respect for exploitation of patents. So new patent rules have come up where you get incentives for the women innovator by expediting the examination of the patent application. There is 80% reduction in patent office fee if the patent application is filed by the individuals, not by the company. And also nowadays, I think in the year 2016, it was introduced Women Transferring India Award is introduced by the government of India based on the patents. Patents awarded will definitely add achievements in your career. So what are the type of IP protections available is trademark. You can do in this also, venture in this also, trademark, copyright and patent. The next category is bio-entrepreneurship. Bio-entrepreneurship is I have something in my hand. So during my post-graduation course, I have gone through my experimental work and I have a knowledge of producing that particular product. I want this product to be released into the market. So what happens is that I can choose bio-entrepreneurship. This bio-entrepreneurship is encouraged by the government of India, especially by the DBT. The flow of innovations from academia to industry is called exactly the what you call the bio-entrepreneurship. So innovation comes in hand. At least I have an innovative plan, an innovative thing to produce something which is
Anita ma'am?
Yes, we lost her,
Yeah, yeah.
but she's still there.
Can you
Her
call?
name is still there.
Can you call? Because her
I'll call,
presentation
I'll
is
call,
come.
I'll call.
Because suddenly her picture is also gone, video is also gone.
Hello? Yeah, Sheila, we lost you. Hello? Yeah, yeah. No, you're gone completely. You have to come back. இருக்கு 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 இல்ல 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 யூ கம் 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 டைம் எல்லாம் கிடையாது we are all there. Anchana,
Yes, ma'am.
she's not enabled ன்னு வருதாம்.
Huh?
She says she's getting it as not enabled.
Not enabled.
Ah,
Just I have allowed her. Yes, again rejoin. Joining. It's coming joining.
joining. சரி சரி okay. No, no.
Anchana, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
yeah, yeah,
I can
yeah.
hear you. I'll make you co-host.
Because it says that you have stopped enabling me.
Ma'am, can you share? I
Yeah,
made
I'm
you
sure.
co-host. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this particular bioincubation center, like this, you have incubation centers in IIT. You have incubation centers in Anjana. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
You
yes,
have
yes.
incubation.
Yeah, sure.
You have incubation centers in IIT. You have incubation centers in Tyser Biopark, phase 1 and phase 2, both the modules you have, where a nominal charge is being done for giving so much of square feet. Exact rate and other things I'm not aware of that, but you can approach. So these are the areas where you have incubation centers and you will be called as an incubatee. Once you become an incubatee, for example, in case of Golden Jubilee Biopark, if you become an incubatee, you are eligible for writing a proposal for the grants, especially the big grant and the BRAC, all those things. So like this, you have centers where you can create a bio entrepreneurship. If you have in some innovation in your hand, and if you feel that it can create a very big business for me. So this is how you will have a common central lab. No need to procure all the instruments that is essential. You can have few instruments that is absolutely essential for producing your product. The rest you can manage with the central lab facility, or you can tie up with other industries, and so that you can create a partnership and you can run a manufacturing unit. But to run a manufacturing unit, you should have a GMP facilities, good manufacturing practice. If your product is not under GMP facility, then you cannot go into the market. Similarly, if your product has to be tested, that product needs to go to a GLP laboratory, good laboratory practice. Whether it is NABL or GLP accredited, you should find it out and give the testing of that particular product. Otherwise, the certificate will not be taken into consideration when you go for the business. So these are the certain things that you should understand. So this is their operation model, everything. There are so many, nearly 75% of women, 400 directly and 10,000 indirectly, they have employed, and 75% of the women have been benefited. Last 2 weeks before, one of my student, she is an innovator and she has produced a nano drug for the breast cancer. She has registered under that, and now she has applied for BIRAC. Yesterday was the last date. So she has filed. And before that, she has filed a patent also. The next is how to go into a herbal industry, which some people have a what to say, keen interest on the what the medicinal plants, herbs, etc. In those cases, do not worry. There are blessings in this field also. The key growth contributors is to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Consumers are increasing, and they increasingly they prefer this herbal products. These food products like herbal tea, oats, cornflakes, biscuits, cookies, spices, jam, and almond oil, which are made up of only natural ingredients. So nowadays there is an awareness that people are going for the natural products because of the adverse effect of this chemicals being added. So you have a wide growth in this field also. So with increase in the awareness about the harmful effects of all these chemicals on the health, used in the production of conventional skin care, hair care, body care, and other cosmetic products, a shift of preference among the consumers has been observed in favor of herbal personal care products, which we see right now. So there is a wide growth in the market. In case of herbal industries also, you have a classification of these industries. You can choose any one of them. One is plant drugs for Indian system of medicine. If you can go for the manufacturing of drugs, formulations, supplement, nutraceuticals, etc. In other cases, essential oils, the essential oils that are widely used in perfumes and other things. So cedar oil, there are so many oils, almond oils that are being used as a what to say in the skin care and in case of hair care. So those things menthol is being extracted, and this menthol is widely used as a raw material in pharmaceutical industries also. Then comes the natural health products, which comes under the cosmetical industry. So all these things, they have a wide opportunity. Now, if I'm going to start a herbal industry, a small scale herbal industry, then what I should do is previously, that is in hand, I should have certain information about that particular industry. So, what are the things I have to do is conduct a market research. This is absolutely essential because I cannot just throw my income or my entire amount on starting the industry. But before that, I should see to that if I start this industry in this particular area, is it beneficial? Will I get customers or clients for that? So all these have to be understood. So the challenges which you are going to face, the risk you're going to face, the current trends. What is the current trend? Current trend means current need of the market, the knowledge about your target consumers. If I'm going to start a cosmetic thing, a cosmetic herbal industry, so what is the need? Is it hair care product that is absolutely essential, or the skin care product? If it is in a skin care, people prefer what type of things, aloe vera product or whatever it is. So all these has to be studied before you venture. So, about the herbs, if I'm going to use medicinal plants, I should have a knowledge about the traditional medicinal plants. So, being a life science graduates and postgraduates, we do have a knowledge of botany and the botanical terms and the a small literature at least about the medicinal plants that we use. Medicinal values, literature review, and possible interaction. What are the side effects? If at all I'm going to take this, is there any adverse effect that will be generated during this process? So all these things has to be studied thoroughly before you enter into the field. Once I feel that yes, I can overcome all these, I'm going to start. So, with confidence, once you enter, you need to get some licenses and certifications. So, these certifications can be, if you are starting a manufacturing unit, then you have to get license from Ayush. And FTA labeling, of course, there is for the supplements if you're going to start, or otherwise FSSAI is fair enough. And you need to find a space for your herbal business. Then you have to create a marketing strategy. So you can start your own website, create your own website, give all the possible information about you, your product, and your company. And then most probably your clients will be naturopathy people, holistic health practitioners, etc. So these are the ideas for startup, which I gave for the herbal industry. You can either start a formulation, herbal cosmetics, essential oils. Even if I have a space somewhere in a village and the fertility of the soil is good, then you can start to plant the medicinal herbs. So that is also a you have a good business in that, because the raw materials needed for the pharma companies comes from that. Then pesticides can be prepared, bioneem pesticides can be prepared, and even from the leaves. So biopesticides market is very important. Then herbal shampoos, toilet and herbal soaps. There are a number of women who prepare toilet soaps, and they are far better than the normal what you use, the high grade soaps. Only thing, you have to create your trade design, and you can enter into the small scale market. Even Amazon now encourages this, all these things. So also preparation of plant extracts, crude extracts are required for certain pharma companies. Nutraceuticals and supplements prepared from only natural products. So if I'm going to select a medicinal plant plantation, this is how. So locally, I can select a small trader to large zone to companies, and finally the consumers. Everywhere there is a choice of business. The next comes is bioeconomy. Indian bioeconomy in 2019. This was the report given by DBT. The Indian bioeconomy in 2019 recorded a good growth, and it will achieve 100 million by 2025. Only thing, COVID came into picture recently. There is a small uh, decline in the growth, but now absolutely it is coming up. So what is this bioeconomy? Is production, utilization of biological resource. Even your knowledge about that is also business, to provide products, process and services in all the sectors of trade and industry with the framework of sustainable economy. So it includes, for example, how I can convert the waste material into a useful product. That is bioeconomy. So the Department of Biotechnology and the Ministry of Science and Technology Development, Government of India, has played a crucial role in the emergence of biotechnology in cutting edge. So All India Board of Biotechnology Education and Training, you have under this board, you have various departments like ICMR, DST, NBTB, DRTO, CSIR, Atomic Energy, ICAR, IAC, and Biotechnology Consortium of India. So these institutions, they require a high skilled manpower, and they have their quality standard also. And these sites has to be thoroughly browsed when you're going for the career choices, because it will help us to gain some knowledge what are the absolute qualification essential for that particular job. So, since time will not permit me to give you so many things, I just jotted out like this. So, these are the fields you can use your knowledge: bioremediation, biofertilizer, then accumulation of waste is happening. I think last week a lady has given a very good idea of how to convert a waste into a useful product. It comes under the greenery revolution. So everywhere you have a choice. It is only we to decide what to take up. That is the thing that we have to understand. Jobs are available, careers are available to us. Only we need to decide and be prepared for that. The last part is, suppose I don't want to go I don't want all these things, I want to go further on to do my research. Then what happens? If you are starting a research, enjoy the research that you are doing, be passionate about it. That is more important to come up. And ultimately, I can see that whoever I'm asking what is, no, I was not able to get my postdoc. It is very bad. How will I sustain if I'm not working, if I'm not getting a postdoc? That is not needed. A postdoc is not your only career option after doing the research. So the postdoc is only going to qualify yourself. That qualification, overqualification, you can join a lab in any part of India, and you can become a qualified person. Whatever 6 months or 1 year, you can work on that particular instruments, gain your knowledge. So if you don't have an opportunity or chance of going postdoc, do not worry yourself. So, what is this research about? Research is nothing but selection of problem, giving a methodology, and collecting the data, analyzing and interpreting the results. There are two type of research: basic research and applied research. We are doing basic research. Whatever basic research we are doing, it enters into the applied research. So, basic research are performed without thought of the practical ends. That means it results in general knowledge and understanding the nature. Applied research will understand or will make us to understand exactly the solutions for whatever the basic research that you had carried out. The next part is translation research. So you can also enter, once you take research as your choice, you can enter into the field called translation research. What is this translation research? It's a simple solution, a bridge between basic and clinical research. From the bench to bedside, or from the lab to the hospital side. That is exactly called as translational research. So, in case of translational research, what are the things that I have, or what are the openings that I have is, you can enter into in vitro analysis team. There is preclinical trials has to be done. So animal studies, there are CROs that carry the animal trials. Then you have the human trials, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, etc. So, Science and Technology Minister, our Minister Shri Harshavardhan, on October 29, 2020, launched sub power schemes that aim to encourage the eminent women researchers to undertake R&D activities, especially in the field of science and engineering, because in engineering, the number of women is very less, the percentage of women is very less. These schemes will promote the women researchers in regular service in academic and research institution to take up R&D to the highest level. You have two schemes there, sub-power fellowship and sub-power research grants. Then, of course, you have the women scientist scheme. You can take up anything. Even you can do your self-employment by taking the WOSC scheme. Then you have the mentorship program for encouraging women to explore broader opportunities in STEM. This was launched. This is called Vignan Jyoti program, launched by DST to build confidence among the young girl students. Then you have Vignan Shala International, where the women who are leading in the field of STEM will give innovative lectures and scientific temperament, inspire, encourage the women in the field of STEM, so that they can understand what are the opportunities available in STEM. STEM is nothing but science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So, research institution around the world has an average of 28.4% of women employees, whereas Indian research institutions have been unable to make this poor benchmark. So, women make up only 14% out of 2.8 lakh scientists, engineers, and technologists in research and development institutions. Most of us, we end up our career is once there is what to say, family burden and other personal commitments come into picture, we just stop. So if you have your break in your career, it is advisable to re-enter again. Do not stop your career. there can be hurdles. Hurdles will always be there. It is only you to decide to come up. Failures will help us to understand, make a good decisions. And once you overcome your failure, you will have an absolute mental strength to understand your path and create a career. This is very, very important. In the past few decades, the women enrolled in science higher education is steadily increasing. But number of women in the science workplace, that means in the R&D, especially in the R&D and in the patent, we find very less amount of women. Um, Finally, mentoring is very important. You should select a good advisor. The good advisor should be accessible one. Your role model may be whatever the terminology you apply. He or she should be accessible and supportive at all stages of your career. Select a mentor who has been trained in mentoring skills. Select a mentor who balance scientific and personal lives, because both should be balanced. We being women, we need to balance that. Build a peer group to support you within your career. Learn how to make advantage of the help that is offered. Become a good mentor yourself so that there can be eventually reciprocity in your mentoring relationship and networking. Create a network in that particular field. Update yourself with the current technology, current things that is happening around the world. That is more important. And once you become a role model, once you have all these qualifications in you, you can become a role model for other women to encourage the science career. Build a support system in yourself. Surround yourself with the like-minded people who can support you. So when I'm saying mentor, I want to put this also into picture, because teachers play a vital role. They become role model knowingly or unknowingly for a student. So some students, they like the subjects when they like the teacher. So teachers play a vital role. They shape the minds and careers of young students. Introduce students to core scientific concepts. So teachers need to understand about the students and make them to come across all these concepts, give them training. Absolutely. Why this training is a part of this? Because when they come into an R&D or a product development industry, they have theory, but absolutely they lack the practical skill, and they lack the hands-on training skills. So this needs to be what to say, encouraged. Hands-on training and skill development should be a part of us, rather than the theory being more oriented. Encourage the students to apply the scientific knowledge. So applied work is absolutely essential than the theoretical one, because they need to face many things in the industry when they enter into the job. Motivate the students to think critically, ask insightful questions. So once you ask questions, from the questions you will have so many responses and replies coming up. Analyze the relevant information and data. So the person who who will not good in theory, but she will be better in practical skill. So that practical skill or that skill development has to be encouraged in that particular student. Encourage students to take up hands-on training, internship programs, projects, etc., to expand the skills. So a skilled person is needed in a corporate rather than a theory-oriented person. Finally, take your own decision, my dear children, after considering all your pros and cons, like interest, your skills, whether my skills will suitable that particular career or job, availability of opportunities for your career, what are the expectations from your job. Initially, when you enter the job, you will be in the learning phase. So learning happens until our death. We cannot forego that. So what are the expectation has to be analyzed. Make use of the opportunities available to you. You can take your opportunities from the institution where you are studying, acquire maximum skills, hands-on training, etc., transferable skills to develop all-round personality, because a multitask person is the one required in industry rather than a single face oriented person. So create a vision, start working in that direction, focus and work on that. Finally, without your involvement, you can't succeed. With your involvement, you can't fail. So, if there is an involvement and hard work, definitely at any point, success will be there. So, don't get dejected by your failures. Failures, you should overcome it. So, this is what our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said. This is one of the quote that made me to come up once I enter into this from academics to the entrepreneur level. It was very difficult. Initially, I had to face many problems. I had to understand the industry, I had to understand the market, so many things. So, I was working on that. Once I worked on that, I understood what are the things that I lack. I created an opportunity, and I create whatever gaps in me. I started developing in the developing those things, and now I can face the industry confidently. The requirements of the industries I know. So thank you, children. Thank you for the patient listening, and thank you. Let us boost our immune system. Again, we have the second wave that is coming in picture. So please take care of your health. Take large amount of vegetables and fruits and build your immune system. Thank you. If there are any questions, you can ask me. I'll answer.
Any clarifications, girls, from your side regarding any career opportunities?
And even type it in the chat box.
No questions?
I've enabled the option. You can type it in the chat box.
Sheila, I have a question. That girl who had applied for in Tysel Park, how much funding are they providing her, or only space is given?
The space is being given to them.
Okay.
Space is given, and it is about 1,000 square feet. They can opt for at a nominal rate. Whereas in Biotech Park, they can be two ways. They can be a virtual incubatee, can be, they can opt for virtual incubatee, or they can opt for the regular incubatee. If
Okay.
it is regular incubatee, they have the nest program also. If
Okay.
you want to create a manufacturing unit, they have another thing that is you can opt for 1,000 square feet. 37,500 or something is the rent.
Okay.
Once they become incubatee, the day they become the incubatee, they are eligible, because they will give you a consent letter that so and so is our incubatee. So with this consent letter, they can go for the big grant and the BIRAC.
Okay.
Only eligible requirement is the particular person, the candidate should be a woman.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
suppose if they don't get a place in Women Biotech Park or whatever it is, don't worry, you can think about Startup India. In Startup India, it is very easy. You have to register in MSME. Your company should be registered in 1957 Company Act. Once you register, you are eligible for small scale industry grants. MSME has two grants. I think the minor grant is about 2 lakhs and the major grant is about 10 lakhs. But in MSME, they will give you grant and you need to put some amount of money.
But do our products come in lakhs? We need more money, isn't it?
And also, if they want, if they have any queries, Priya, they can mail me. I am available. I can help them. There's no problem.
Okay, I think in the chat box there are 2 questions. No.
No, my chat box is
No.
very clear. Anjana has written, kindly post your
Yeah,
question. There are no
they don't
questions.
have.
I think it's either way they have well understood or they have a different career choices apart from what we have discussed.
Anything else?
Since vaccines are coming and there are so many products coming into the market, the need of life sciences is increasing because COVID situation will go on for the next year also.
Ma'am, I have a question, ma'am. Like, if a student she finishes her MSc, so is there any specific industrial training program which you can suggest for them to get into industry? Is there anything to be done like that?
There is no particular industry training program. The industry training program in Tamil Nadu is given by Entrepreneur Development Thing, which is there in Tangal. They are giving some training for their industry, but I feel there is no particular training. Only thing you have to do your market research. So when I started a service industry, I was thinking about a small organization I started. We need to understand only the clients. A small amount of market research is essential. Only thing you need a financial advisor for you to help you during the process, because for registration and other things you need some guidance.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, do you know training programs in Kerala? I can get you that, Mega Mary. I saw some question popping up. It's Mega Mary Juice. I can get you that, and I will just give this information to Anita. From your madam, you can get it. There are a lot of training programs in Kerala.
Megha, once it comes, I'll pass it on to you.
She has replied. Because here I know in Kerala I should get the information. There are a lot of training programs. See, women entrepreneur all over the India is encouraged, absolutely encouraged. You can start up. Startup India for the women entrepreneur is again encouraged by the government of India. They provide grants for that. Only thing, as I said, you need to have some innovative product in hand.
Anyone else, girls?
I think we'll wind up, Priya.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Sheila, for such a vast information about so many choices that they can
One
make
question, I
from.
think. Priya, there's one question, I think,
Okay.
from Hema Lakshmi.
Okay.
Is it mandatory to take up pharmacovigilance course to get it into clinical research? Who's that? Hema, you can, pharmacovigilance is a separate course, Hema. You can just join the clinical research course also. It is available.
No.
As a post-graduation course, it is available, where you will come across the basic guidelines of all that. Not so compulsory to take pharmacovigilance. Pharmacovigilance is a separate thing under clinical research. In clinical research, you need to understand the process, guidelines, regulatory guidelines, etc.
Anything else, girls? Can we wind up?
One more question has come. Oh, that's thank you.
Yeah, that's thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you for sharing your vast knowledge about the various choices our girls can make, both in academic and non-academic fields, and especially the plethora of information that you shared regarding the funding that is available, the IPR, and the entrepreneurial outlets which are available should encourage them to take up something in life science itself. One of the biggest problem in life sciences, they study life science but go into something else. So instead of that,
Exactly.
if they are encouraged to continue here, nothing like it. And especially the become good entrepreneurs, it will be very nice. We should have more Kiran Mazumdars. We don't have anyone after Kiran Mazumdar. So I think it should open up their mind and they should start thinking other ways. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Sheila.
Thank you, Dr. Priya. Thanks a lot. Which is now they need to understand that teaching alone is not there. You have lot of availabilities. Only thing is they should make up their
Yeah.
mind for that particular career. Thank you, Anita.
And
Thank you a lot, ma'am.
and teaching alone is not lucrative also.
Yes. No,
Once upon a time it was teaching. My biotechnology not teaching, but now, especially after this COVID, no, there are so many opportunities for students to take up entrepreneurship and
There are
go
so
into
many
diversified.
spaces that they
And
can take up
especially
so
because biotechnology is not under aided. So it's better they look out for other options where they can earn more also.
you can earn more and be a self-confident person.
Yeah,
See,
that is
they
more
should be
Self-contained,
each
self-sufficient person is
each and every women on the earth should be self what to say, they should be independent. The main thing is independent because we do not know the later part of the life, but confidence and independence is very very important in terms of finance, in terms of the profession and everything. So I think that will enable them to come up.
true. True.
Thanks, Sheila. Thanks for accepting our invitation in such a short duration and giving us a wonderful talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Priya. Bye. Take care. My dear
Yeah.
children, take care and all the best.
Shall I end the meeting?
Yeah, yeah. Bye, Sheila. See you.
Can I leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank